Hey, sir, thanks for stopping by. Now, you've been here all week watching your fighters.
I sure have.
They perform tremendously.
Yeah.
You have to be real proud of them.
Yeah, we are proud of them. We got a really young team. We haven't been training together very long. But what I'm most impressed with is the heart. You know, PFC Lou was a great example.
Absolutely.
He's got the heart of a lion. And our soldiers came here. They did their very best. They never gave up all the way through the tournament. So we're walking away with our heads held high and getting ready for next year, because next year's Free ID's year.
What are you going to most remember about this week here at Fort Hood?
The camaraderie of our team, how well they supported each other, how well they worked together, and really their champions' hearts. You know, we told them that they're all champions no matter what, because they've worked hard to get here and to leave it all in the ring. And every single one of our soldiers did. They left everything they had in the ring.
Sir, are you how do you feel about what you've seen over the last couple of days? Do you feel that your soldiers were well prepared? You know, is there anything, you know, hindsight being 2020, do you feel that you did everything to make sure that your guys were ready to come here and do what they have to do?
Well, I mean, you know, most of our brigades have just come back off of deployments. The division's, you know, has done 4 consecutive deployments to Iraq. Our team really has only been training together for 6 weeks. So we've got a total of about 6 weeks of training as a team. So it would have been nice if we could have trained for 5, 6, 7 months. But all these soldiers come from combat units and combat brigades, so it would be nice if we would have been able to train a little longer, I think.
What do you want to say back to the folks back home about your team and what they did here?
Yeah, well, hey, to all the folks in Savannah, Fort Stewart, and Fort Benning, and all of Georgia, be proud of your sons and daughters. The dog-faced soldiers that came here represented well. They're all champions. They got hearts, the hearts of lions, and you should be very proud of them.
I talked earlier about this being the first time in the U.S. Army Combatives Championship where we used a cage instead of a ring. You know, personally being an instructor here at the Fort Hood Combative School and you know, using our personal cage, you know, our soldiers are used to training in this environment. You know, it's not only used for events like this, but what the purpose of having a cage here at the Great Place is to simulate a safe place where soldiers can react to man-to-man contact using the cage walls as if they would in a room. What is your opinion on the cage versus the ring?
Well, you know, this is my 4th tournament I've been to, and I've seen soldiers go under the ropes, through the ropes. This is safer, but this is something you got to train because it's a different dynamic. So we got to do a little more cage training. We got to get used to wall walking and get used to operating in it.
As far as the tactical aspect of it, though, and the realistic training approach that this would provide, like, you know, I said earlier that you know, hand-to-hand fights don't happen usually out in the open desert. They happen whenever we're doing, you know, military operations and inside of a city or inside of a house. You know, do you think that this provides an eye-opening experience, saying, hey, maybe we need to, you know, for the guys that have struggled with it, maybe we need to start incorporating some more CQC training into our combatives program?
I mean, it does. There's walls, there's corners. You can get jammed in a corner and be on the bottom. If you're good, you know, with jiu-jitsu off the bottom and you're used to operating in an open area, it's a new dynamic for you. So I think it does add a level of complexity to the fight. And I think it is good training because you're right. Most of your hand-to-hand fights will probably happen in a small room.
Exactly.
All right. Colonel Roger Cloutier, we want to thank you for stopping by, sir. Best of luck to you and your team.
Thanks for having
us. And we appreciate you stopping by.
All righty, thanks. Rock it tomorrow.
All right. All right, up next we have the light heavyweight division. It features Sergeant First Class Christopher Kyle from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. He's taking on newly inducted black belt into the All-Army Combatives Staff Sergeant James Stelly. Let's see what's going on right here.
All right. Right now we have Sergeant First Class Damian Stelly in the red belt. Sergeant First Class Stelly is former instructor at the United States Army Combative School. He's a former Combatives Tournament champion. He's a professional MMA fighter. He was awarded one of the first 3 black belts by Mr. Matt Larson tonight. Very, very, very decorated guy. The person that he's up against, though, is an amazing fighter. He's a special forces guy out of Fort Campbell. I've seen this guy just use amazing technique to control his opponents the last 2 days.
And brute strength.
I've been looking forward to this fight more than any other than, of course, the 3 core guys.
Tell you what, Kyle is very strong. Look how he picks him. Oh, my goodness. He may be trying to get inducted if he keeps performing like that.
Sergeant First Class Stelly has got one of his buddies in here tonight as his cornerman. Staff Sergeant Tim Kennedy from the Texas National Guard, Special Forces sniper and marksmanship instructor. What's funny is the very first couple of years that this was going on, the finals were Kennedy and Stelly. So
going up against
each other. And I mean, you can YouTube that. Just type in Kennedy Stelly, and a million versions of that fight and those fights will pop up. And now, a few years later, both of them very, very, very professional and accomplished soldiers, as well as mixed martial artists. And now they can depend on the other one for sound coaching and tactical advice. And Stelly being able to transition more to the dominant position. Kennedy in the corner screaming, "Be patient."
Now Stelly's in the dominant position. You can't talk enough about the conditioning of these guys. Now he's in the dominant position.
Yes, now he's in the mount.
Kyle,
yes, First Class Kyle was able to, roll him onto his back. Now Stelly is kind of in a bad position. He needs to start putting his feet up against the cage and spin his head out towards the center. That way, he's got some more freedom of movement that way. If his head is maintained up against that cage, it's very, very, very difficult for him to do anything effective from that position, as we've seen all night.
Kyle is really, really strong.
Kyle is massive.
Look at the thickness of his thighs. Like brute strength, man. So this may not be a walk in the park. This is going to be a tough fight.
Sergeant First Class Kyle, as brutally strong as he is and as tough as he is, and being a special forces operator,
yes.
He's got a sense of humor. He was walking around in a T-shirt that said "picked last in gym class" for the last couple of days. And look at this kid. Dude, if we're playing dodgeball in the 3rd grade and I'm on the playground, I'm picking Kyle first.
For sure.
But in his little bio and information sheet that we have in front of us, if you look in for his info, it says Special Forces. That's the only thing we need to know.
That's all you need to know.
But I don't think he's taking any type of humor or going into this fight lightly. He realizes who he's going up against.
And I think he was looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely. Whenever you get into this level of competition, you have to have a certain type of personality to make it this far and to do well. Being an athlete at his caliber and a soldier that he is, I'm sure that he accepts and looks forward to challenging events.
Now Stelly
has mounted Kyle now. Has Kyle up against the fence.
Kyle just throws
Kyle
it.
is just able to power through.
Just power through. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Man, this is a very competitive bout. Stelly looks a little confused about where he's supposed to go right now.
Oh, I didn't see Sergeant Andrew Chappelle over there in the corner as well. You know, wow, it's just kind of a black belt corner. You know, Sergeant Kyle has kind of got to play a little bit of a mind trick on him to look across the cage and see the three guys. Matt Larson, the guy that came up with this, you know, this is his baby. And for the three guys that he just inducted and gave the honor, the first three to receive the black belt standing across from him, it's got to be a little bit of an intimidating thing.
Oh, sure. You got these pro guys.
But by no means does he look concerned. However, his right eye is starting to swell. It looks like in two separate places. Stelly's been in many, many, many fights. Thousands of hours of training and hard sparring. This guy, you know, he's ready for this. This is just another day at the office for him.
Maybe he didn't expect this kind of fight. If you look at the frame of Kyle, he's just thick and solid, powerful. But, I mean, he's strong. He's not as defined or ripped, as they like to say, as
Stelly,
but he is strong.
You know that all. You know, this is the 205-pound weight class.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle probably is not really near 205 pounds right now.
No, I would say
Stelly has that. Exactly. Stelly has the reverse bend armbar from the guard position.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle doing a very good job of defending it. You know, the thing about when you're attempting a submission like that. And he has the arm out. It's very hard to hit from the side control position. If Damian's able to, or if Sergeant Stelly is able to, you know, recompose even half guard, he would be able to hit it. Sergeant Stelly abandoning that technique and attempting to come to his knees and recompose his base and transition to another position. Stelly just transitioning smoothly throughout all the ranges of this fight in all the positions, landing very, 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 very heavy hands. You know, when I first started doing combatives training in about 2004, you know, I heard stories about Damian Stelly. This is the first time that I've had an opportunity to meet him in my military career and career in combatives. And you know, if you've been in the military, around the military, sometimes people like to tell "I caught a fish" this big stories.
Right.
I don't think anybody exaggerated anything when they were talking about Sergeant First Class Stelly. He is a very, 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 very
nice.
very, very heavy hit. I could actually feel the vibration, and I'm 3 feet away from the cage.
And
he's got him in crucifix position right now.
He can almost knock him out.
He's going to stop the fight.
Yeah.
He's going to, no choice but to stop it.
Well, he's letting it go on. The big man fought on. I tell you what.
He's defending.
He took at least a dozen shots.
But if it goes into the third round, he's got to be able to open his eyes to see his opponent. With the swelling on his left eye that was already there, he's doing nothing but just continuing to injure the exact same spot. Stelly knows exactly what he's doing, and he's doing it well.
He's being very methodical about it.
Exactly.
He's hit him at least 24 times in this round with that left hand.
You know, Staff Sergeant Kennedy is over there in the corner. He's got Andrew Chappelle over there. And he has listened to every piece of the instruction, you know.
Yeah.
I keep hearing Kennedy say, position, and then do damage. And you do not see Stelly throw a punch until Kennedy yells, do damage. This is a great, great, great example of if you dedicate a